Hi, everybody. It is Delusion Dispeller, aka DD, which I have called myself for years now because I think it sounds cool. But of course, my real name is Laura Beth, the one, the only, the one that everybody either loves or hates. Kind of used to that in my life, really. Carmi loves me, as you can see. And actually, all the people that I consider haters, I have a feeling if I met some of you in real life, we'd probably get along really well. You're just looking at me from being goofy on videos and deciding that you don't like me. Hi Sandy. I see you there. I see your wave. Hopefully you got my little response to your I think you sent me an email or something. And I told you I was doing a live shortly. Here I am. I'm doing the live. I have a couple things to say today. And I have some fun slang I want to share with you. Now, those of you that have been watching my videos for a while know that I work in a school where I help kids that have behavioral disabilities, which I was thinking really yesterday how thankful I am because this is my second year. So I'm pretty much on, a pretty close basis with the staff members and the children. They come back and they recognize you from last year, and there's a comfort there. There's a rapport that's built there. And I'm thankful for that because I was thinking about Chicago inner city schools or like the Bronx and things like that, and how hard they must have it because those kids, I mean, I imagine eventually the teachers establish a rapport with them, but you're talking about some rough kids that carry weapons and hide weapons and jump you sooner than talk to you. And I'm thankful I don't have that situation to deal with. These kids are really, really good kids, basically. So, oh, gotcha, Catherine. Then you can relate to what I'm saying. These people are very verbal. They're not nonverbal. Although for a while I did work in a place for a little bit that had some nonverbal children. There was like a classroom of, oh boy, how many did we have? Maybe 10 children, and a lot of them were nonverbal, autistic. I believe one had Asperger's or Asperger's, however you say it. And that was very difficult. Having a nonverbal person to take care of or little person is very hard. Very, very hard. So kudos to you, Catherine, because honestly, if I had my choice, I would rather deal with kids that are mouthing off to me than children that can't express themselves verbally. That's very difficult. Um, my friend has a couple children that are nonverbal also. So I've seen them, I've hung out with them, and I still say I prefer the behavioral disordered situation. Um, just personally for me, I'm such a talker. I guess I get along better if I can talk back and forth to the person and reason with them on an easier basis. So, oh, that's good, Catherine. I pray too that that happens, that he'll be able to talk eventually. Anyway, I wanted this to be kind of a lighthearted, uplifting video, but I know if the Chris Watts, Shanann Watts stuff comes into it, that's fine too. I have no problem with anybody talking about anything, within reason, as long as it's done decently and not, being mean to people and stuff, because that would not be good. And I'm not all about that. So, um, yeah, Catherine, it's frustrating. Then you know what I mean. So I woke up this morning. First of all, I had a rather rough night. After thinking about all the Watts stuff that's going on, it just really bothered me. And then for some reason, I watched these videos about snake handlers, like in religious churches, and how they would get bit and they would just keep dancing with these snakes in their hands and end up in the hospital. And several of them, at least over 100, I know, and I don't know how many years span this is, ended up dying from snake bites. So it's just another extreme form of worship, if you want to call it that. It's not something I would do. I respect people's right to believe what they want, but I think it's foolish. Good morning, Deb. And it was rather interesting though, and I'm not going to name the name of who it was, but there was this one family where snake handling in the church was just something that they all did. I mean, if you're born and raised a certain way, handling snakes or whatever, that's all you know. So you just go with it. And when the guy got bitten and died, his son took over and Then the son got bitten not all that long ago, apparently, and he almost died. And the weird thing is, and the disturbing thing is, a lot of these people that are handling snakes do not go to the hospital because they believe either the Lord's going to heal me or the Lord's going to let me be taken off the planet. No, thank you. I prefer to live and not die. And if I was bit by a snake, the first place I would be going is to the hospital. And I believe God can heal. I have no doubt about that. But I also believe He uses doctors and medicine. And I prefer to live my life as long as I can in a healthy way on this earth. That's just my belief. So kudos to those that are braving the serpent or the strychnine. One guy was drinking strychnine. Very strange, but yeah. I'm reading what you wrote. Yeah, I've seen that, Sandy. I've actually seen that a few times. I've seen a few different things. I'm trying to think of the recent Watts thing that I have seen. Sorry, I'm jumping from topic to topic. What was it? No, I don't remember. It was just like a recent post about Shanann. Oh, about how she posted, I guess, on Facebook that Chris had a very strong appetite. And I don't mean for food, and that he was very into that sort of thing. Somehow that doesn't surprise me. He just seems sinister to me. I know people that think I'm a Shanann hater think I'm a Chris lover, and that's not true at all because I watched those interview videos. And if you watched my original live, I was talking about how Chris looked so suspicious and I knew he was lying. So I'm not a Chris lover by any means. I am a lover of respecting what our law in the US is, which is innocent till proven guilty. That's it. Do I think he's innocent? No, I don't. Um, yeah, Sandy. If you send me links, I'll watch them. I have no problem doing that. I just thought I would make this kind of a silly, goofy, fun video and maybe comment on a couple of comments I got recently so people would kind of know where I stand on whatever. The oddest comment that I have had so far, that is one thing I do want to talk to you about. The oddest comment and the comment that just made me go, huh? What? Was this one from, I believe, a woman. Let Shanann and the girls, or Shanann and Bella and Celeste, let them rest in peace. Am I waking them up? Am I disturbing their peace by discussing behaviors that I saw in somebody while she was alive? I highly doubt it. I'm not letting them rest in peace. That was the oddest thing I've ever read. Let them rest in peace. Come on, Dee Dee. Let them rest in peace. Don't wake them up. Don't disturb them. I'm sure they're more at peace than I am right now, especially the little girls. I can't judge Shanann's, heart state or whatever, but I know that children, or I believe fully that children die innocent. There was nothing those little girls could have done to warrant anything other than resting in peace. And how horrid they had to die. Oh my gosh. That is just despicable. Um, and somebody says, you know, it doesn't do any good to talk about this stuff. They're over, they're gone, they're dead, whatever. It does a lot of good to talk about it. It does good to talk about the behaviors that we're noticing. Like Catherine just said. Hi, Lindsay. Hi, everybody. Catherine just said we need to talk about it. So red flags to notice. There were lots of red flags. I will get into that, but I want to keep this lighthearted to begin with. And I promise you, we will talk the Watts case up the wazoo if you want. Honestly, I don't have a problem talking about it or discussing it at all, especially during the day. Probably not right before I go to bed. I shouldn't be watching snake handlers and Chris Watts and negative stuff when I'm trying to sleep. That kept me up all night. That's what I was going to say earlier. Right, Sandy. Exactly. I'm not keeping them from resting. I believe once you pass on, you rest, whether you stay in the ground, go to heaven, or other places. I haven't done it, so I'm not going to say. I pray that I go to heaven. That is where I want to be when I do pass on, or at least to some restful place like heaven. And I get to see God because I've done my best to serve Him on this planet. But we'll see. Anyway, so that was the oddest comment I've had yet. And but the dump diver thing, I still like that. I get a big kick out of DD dumpster diver. That will always crack me up every time I think of that word. So if that guy was hoping to insult me, he didn't. He just put a smile on my face and made me laugh at myself and at the whole thing about what he thinks of me. So whatever. Now, I wanted to share some stuff, and actually my co-para shared it on her Facebook. So I don't feel odd about sharing this with you. As I said, I work, excuse me, in a school with children that have disabilities, specifically behavioral disorders. So, they've done things that got them into our special school, beat up teachers, got in fights with peers, that sort of thing. Which that's not super uncommon. So we hope to put them on the right path and kind of direct their behavior so that they do better and can maybe get back into their schools or just function in society. That's what we're there for. Anyway, I wanted to share something that just really, the co-para and I enjoy the kids. Like I said, we enjoy those children a lot. They're teens or preteens. And they have a vernacular, a vocabulary that is very amusing. So I wanted to share some of the words that I've learned and maybe kind of give you scenarios in which they would be used. Um, and some of them will be familiar to you if you have children in the school, or you may remember them even from when you were a younger person. And the first one is bogus. Now, if you've ever seen the movie Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, that was a big one on there. I still remember the scene where they ended up, I think it was, where was it, in Britain or something? I don't know. And they had an Iron Maiden, which it's a disgusting torture device with spikes in it and like a tomb. And these dudes were like clueless. And they got basically captured. And the guy said, um, what was it? Arrest them. And they both said, excellent. And he said, put them in the Iron Maiden. And they said, bogus. Yeah. Well, the kids say bogus a lot. They don't want to do the work in class. Oh, that's just bogus. Why should we have to do that? Why do you mark our charts? That's bogus. I'm trying to find good lighting here because the sun's coming through the window and messing up my video. Hang on, guys. Let me move you over here. So anyhow, that was pretty Michelle Pfeiffer. Oh, what do you mean, Michelle Pfeiffer? Explain that one. I would like to hear that. Oh my goodness, this thing does not want to stand up. Give me a sec. I'm trying to balance my computer so it doesn't fall. All right, that works. All right. Anyway, so yeah, bogus is the first one. Oh yeah. Oops, where did my thingies go? Hang on a second. Oh, they're right in front of me. So yeah, bogus is the first one. So not fair is basically what bogus means. And then a new one that I had never heard till recently from a little person in my school. Woofing. You woofing means you're lying. They'll say, well, I just won $1 million. One of the students will say, and this other student will say, you woofing. So that means you're lying, you're exaggerating, stuff like that. There's a few other ones that kind of all mean the same thing. If you really think something's cool and neat, it's either boss, that's boss. Ooh, that's bomb, or that's lit. Lit. Go figure. Whatever. It's amazing the ways we can turn around the English language in different ways to make little yeah, dazed and confused. Exactly. I love that like Valley Girl surfer dude stuff. I married a guy that reminded me of a surfer dude. So, because everything is dude with him. It doesn't matter if you're an 80-year-old woman, they'll say, yeah, dude, that's what I meant to do, or whatever. Or he'll go up to the bank teller and say, oh, dude, I need this much money, or what. It's just kind of funny. It was kind of off-putting at first because I never heard anybody do it, and I thought, "Ooh, man, bad vocabulary." But he's very endeared to me now because of that. So, hi, Farah. Good to see you. I'm talking about slang words I've learned from the students I take care of. Cheetos. That's another one. We still have yet to figure out what Cheetos means because the student that came and said it the most isn't in the school anymore. We don't know if he's sick or what's going on, but Cheetos. Oh, that's Cheetos. Sometimes he'd say it when he didn't like the rules, and sometimes he would say it if things were cool. So I don't know if that's a kind of what's the word? Interchangeable word to mean different things. I'm not sure what Cheetos means. So there's your question, everybody watching this YouTube video. If you know anybody you can ask this to, or if you know the answer, what does Cheetos mean? Cheetos. I do know that there are several different definitions. Obviously, the orange, yummy, crunchy things you can eat are Cheetos. And that's not a gang symbol. That's just me doing weird things with my hands. So don't freak out. Um, and there's also Cheetos. Oh, what was it? I can't remember now what it was. I'll have to look it up. But so Cheetos, we're trying to figure out the definition for Cheetos. Cray cray means crazy, definitely, but cray cray is not used in the school anymore. If you say cray cray, they'll say, ain't nobody talk like that no more, or don't nobody talk like that no more. And these are white children that sound like black children. I don't know what is with that, and it's not just the children. Years ago, I don't remember what year it was, but I started watching like American Idol and also just like talk shows, things like that. And there would be white people that came on that sounded, if you did not see that they were white skinned, you would think they were black ghetto people. Why white people try to talk like black people, like just on a regular basis, I don't understand. Another example is I forget what her name is, but there was a girl on Dr. Phil who was very disrespectful to her mother and disrespectful to the audience and Dr. Phil. And I guess somebody in the audience, or maybe Dr. Phil, I don't know, said something. And she's like, "What? What? Catch me outside. How about that?" So she was very white. From what I could tell, her mother was very white. And her mother did not sound like that. It was just this persona she developed to sound like she came from a ghetto, where black people were from. I'm not saying only black people live in ghettos, but I guess that seems to be the terminology people associate with ghetto, or the race or the color of the skin. And I'm not racist by any means. I'm just telling you my perception of that type of speaking and dialect, maybe. I don't know how you would term it, but hood rat speak is not cute to me. Hood rat speak. That's interesting. Hood rat. That's a new one on me too. And I think that's because they wear the hoodies. Yes, a lot of the children where I work try to put their hoods on. That is against the rules. They get written up for that. No hoods are allowed in the school. No hoods. And I think the reason for that is it is very gang style related to have a hood up like that. It's like I'm cool and you're not type of thing, I guess. Like a hoodlum. Ghetto neighborhood. Okay, yeah, like the hood. Yeah, I gotcha. I hear you. I feel ya, as they say. All right. Another one is you tripping. That's just like you woofing. You tripping. Now, tripping has been used by my own children. Hang on, I have a kitty that wants out the door. I'll be right back. Come on, Becca. Come on. So you tripping means you lying, you're not telling the truth, you're full of it, that kind of thing. That's a popular one that's, been there a while. That's true, Farah. They get the wrong identity, unfortunately, and that's when we get a hold of them to try to steer them in the right direction, in spite of peers trying to pull them the other way. Capping. That was an interesting one I heard yesterday. At lunchtime, one of the kids said, "I ain't even capping. This stuff is good." So it's kind of like I'm not lying. I'm telling you the truth. This is cool. This is good. Capping. Oh, here's a new one that's definitely brand new to me. I've never ever heard this. Kids will be talking about well, my daddy did this or my uncle did that and he ended up in jail. And one of the kids will say, merch, merch. You know what merch means? Merch means swear to it. Tell me that that's true. It's like saying swear to God. Um, swear to it, whatever. Merch. MERCH. Strange. Okay. Finna has now become funna. We finna do that. I finna gonna get a grade. I finna get a good grade on this. I can't even do it because I get tripped up. I keep saying finna gonna at the same time, but it's finna or funna. Yeah. You fun to do this? Oh, there's another one I forgot to mark down. Try. Um, I'm in Illinois. So a kid will come up and they'll see that I have the charts. I'm marking their behavior on the charts. They'll say, "You finna take some of those zeros off of there?" Or they'll say, um, they have to go to the restroom, okay? They'll say, "Miss C, you trying to take me to the restroom in a little bit?" Am I trying to? No, actually, I'm trying to grade papers and correct your and do your chart. I mean, you trying to. You trying to take me to the restroom. Sometimes they'll say, I ain't even trying to get into that. I ain't even trying to get in trouble. I ain't even trying to go to this class. It's just odd. It's the weirdest thing. Yeah, you done did it. You done did it. Oh, merchandise? Oh, it's a meme. That figures. Eh. I mean, there's good and bad about the internet. Some of the weird language on the internet is odd. Um, if they're teasing a kid or saying bad things about them, they're baking them or roasting them. Now, I've heard the term roasting, like if you have a boss and there's a boss party to celebrate, 100 whatever endeavors of the boss, or he's been there for 20 years at this company, we're going to have a roast. That means we're going to say all the things to make fun of the boss, basically. So a lot of times I'll hear, "Ooh, she roasted you." If you say something, you know, you either catch the kid doing something and you say something about it, you roasted them. Um, Here's a new one I learned yesterday. Now, most people know the term Gucci now. That's a real popular one. I got these Gucci shoes. Here, let me show you my Gucci shoes. I'll be right back. Gucci. Now, those of us lame old folks that are like not with the times, Gucci was something you did to a newborn baby. Gucci, Gucci, goo. That's not what they mean. These would be considered Gucci shoes. I like my Gucci shoes. They're extremely uncomfortable after a while, but they are Gucci. They be styling. Anyways, sorry, buddy. I didn't mean to scare you. Poor cat. I just dropped the shoes near him and he jumped. I feel bad now. All right. So there's my Gucci shoes. Um, oh, and a big thing with the kids these days is how much did you pay for that? Whoever has the more expensive shoes is like they're the top of the class. Miss C, how much did you pay for your shoes? I got them free at my church. They had a table out there that they're going to have again this week, giving away free stuff. I don't pay for shoes if I don't have to pay for them. Sometimes I'll go to Goodwill and get some shoes. And then they'll start talking about, yeah, we got some shirts at the Goodwill, blah, blah, blah. But around their friends, you had to have paid the most, over $100, or else they not Gucci. And they're not in. Cute. All right, last one. Um, so okay, I'll tell you a typical conversation I might hear. So my mama sent me to the store and I was going to the store. I was like right around the corner and this dog jumped out at me and I tweaked. They tweaked. That means they freaked out, flipped out. And if you ask them, um, what you spinning dog? Yeah, dog is another one. Um, if you ask them what they mean by tweaked, and you know that it means they freaked out or flipped out, you'll say, "So are you saying tweaked means flipped out or freaked out?" They'll deny it. They'll be like, "Nah, what does it mean?" "I don't know what it means. I don't know." And then they'll just like fade off. They don't like it that you're trying to learn their language or figure out their vernacular. That's their thing, and you're not cool. You're not, you're not dope if you're trying to talk like them or understand them. That's their little groupie thing. Um, so anyway, yeah, dog is a big one, but not around where I work. They don't use the word dog. It's bro, or sometimes bruh, and they get marked on their chart if they use the word bro. And I think basically it's because we are trying to teach them that there is a time and a place for even your vernacular and your vocabulary. You do not call a teacher bro or hey, come here and help me with this. Like one of the kids said that to me yesterday. I said, "Excuse me, how about please?" And they said, "Please come help me with this." Because they can get very bossy. They think they can boss adults around. Not happening with this one. And most of the other staff will not put up with that. So, oh, that's cool, Natalie. So do share because I'd love to go back and teach the other para some more words. We hear different stuff or different things every day, and it's a lot of fun if you can get into the funness of it and not take it as, well, these little hood rats or hoodlums, they're so slang and they're into that bad stuff and whatever. They're going to do what they're going to do. It's just like any of us. We had to find ourselves. We had to find who we fit in with, who we wanted to be. They're just doing the same thing. Now, a lot of them, yes, they can be troublemakers and get into a lot of legal trouble and stuff. So make it fun for them. If you're a para or you're a teacher or whatever, make it fun. That makes it so much easier even to work your job, and it's so much more enjoyable when you can laugh along with them and sometimes at them, as long as you're not being cruel about it, of course. And they take it well, most of them, the little kids that I work with, the teens. Um, PKU? Huh, okay, I'm not sure what that means. I must have missed something. I don't know what PKU is. I know pheno phenylketonuria is what I always understood PKU to mean. So I don't know if that's what you're talking about. Um, Someone's trying to teach proper English. Well, I mean, I don't know if I'm trying to teach proper English. I'm just sharing some of the enjoyable parts of my job with you. Um, Oh, creating losers and parasites for future generation. It's sad. Catherine, you could fit in with all clicks. Gotcha. Anyway, that was just something fun I wanted to share with you. Some of the words. It was just funny because the one day we were having kind of a challenging day, and I just started writing down the things I was hearing, and I'm like, okay, so this means this, that means that, and the other parent came over. She has now taken a picture of my list and posted it on her Facebook. And basically, the going thing right now is trying to figure out what Cheetos means. So, like I said, if anybody knows what Cheetos means, let me know. But they'll say stuff and then they'll say, well, I can't tell you what it means because it's not appropriate for school. So they know, but they will push the envelope like kids will. And especially kids that have behavioral disorders, they will see how far they can push the rules. And they don't get very far, but at least they know that we try to identify with them. And there are some staff members that are way better at it than others. And I'm thinking of a few right now that will just, they'll join me in playing around with the kids. Like, they'll say, I don't want to do this work. This is too hard. And we'll say to them, no, no, it's Gucci. It's Gucci. Or we'll say, are you Gucci now? And it's just fun. It's fun. Um, Hot and spicy, that girl is Cheetos. Yeah, that's true. That is one way they do use that word. But this one kid that came, he used Cheetos for everything. If he didn't like something, it was Cheetos. Oh, that's Cheetos. Oh, yeah, Farrah. These particular kids, I believe they can communicate with the real world. The problem is they like to fight the real world. They're angry. They're angry. They've been hurt, traumatized, a lot of them. Um, and they find identity with their friends and with trying to act like they're cool and cooler than everybody else. I mean, there's one kid that in particular will say, I can do that better than anybody. Okay, so yesterday, this kid decided to challenge me drawing, basically, coloring in particular. Um, it's coming to that wonderful, not so wonderful day that I don't celebrate called Halloween on the 31st. So the kids were coloring, Halloween related pages from their social workers. And the one kid in particular said to me, um, or said to everybody actually, I can color better than anybody in this room. I'm like, really? Yeah, I can even color better than you, Miss C. Okay. I like a challenge. You want to color something? I'll be happy to color with you. I can. I'll be better than you. I'm telling you. You want to take me on? I said, I can take you. Art major here. Okay. Let's color. So then he's like, no, no. Okay. Maybe I'm not better than you, but everybody else in the room, I'm better than all my peers. I'm better than them. So it's funny. It was really funny. He didn't end up taking me up on it, but I was ready. I was ready because the social worker was in there and she's like, are you sure you want to do that? He's like, yeah, yeah, I'm better. I said, yeah, I don't think so. I'm an art major, and I'm pretty sure I could run circles around you. What ages? We have. Oh my goodness, trying to think because I'm trying to remember what age is what grade level. I'm better at telling you grade levels. Sixth through 10th, I think. Or maybe even younger than that. I don't know. It goes up like into the 20-year-old grade level, or not grade level, but age. So yeah. So anywhere from, I'd say, preteen on up to older high school age or grade level or learning level. And that's the thing. I guess that's why I do enjoy the job, because when I look at the kids, and I did this with my own homeschooled children, I believe children learn at their own pace. So I don't really try to over push the children. I push them a little bit. You got to urge them in the right direction. Give them some challenging questions in their English and their math and stuff. And I schedule the English, so I get to choose what I assign them. Thankfully, the other teacher trusts me, and I do pretty good with that. But they're all in the same book, which can be challenging, but they're in different places in the book, which is fine. And I like that. And I think every child learns differently. Like there's one child that I work with, um, he's a talker. He has ADD. So he and ADHD actually, and he just talks nonstop. So I make deals with him. I'll say, okay, we're gonna do 5 problems, and then I'll listen to you talk for a few minutes. And then we're gonna go back and do the next 5 problems. That works like a charm with him. That might not work with another child. There's another one that is very low in learning, and I sit with him and I basically have to encourage him the whole time because he'll say, I'm stupid. I don't know how to do that. I said, no, you're not stupid at all. Look, you got this one. And so what if you don't get the next one? Then we'll try again. You just have to keep encouraging them. And um, you have to help them believe in themselves a lot of times, especially if they're in a situation where they're being put down in their home environment, because a lot of them are. And you have to tell them, I believe in you, you know, trying to read what some of these comments say. They're so tiny. I need to kind of enlarge the comments, I think, if I can. Oh, there we go. That's so much better. Now I can read what you're saying in between my jabbering. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I know, Inga. I hear you on that one. Good to see you, Inga, by the way. I don't think I've had you in any of my live things yet, my live broadcasts. So anyway, and then there's one of the students is like super, super good. And a lot of the students sometimes will go back to their home schools after a while if they're, on a certain level for a certain amount of time. And this particular student is like doing very, very well, but just had a problem getting along with people. So you have a variety of levels of what the students are on and stuff. Um, Thank you, Catherine. I appreciate that. Um, Anyhow, what was I saying? Oh, okay. I'm trying to think of my students, and of course, I won't mention names because of confidentiality, but I will tell you like aptitudes and kind of what we're dealing with, since you don't know the people. Anyways, one of the students just doesn't care, and this particular student will just write anything down. He doesn't care, or she doesn't care if they pass or fail. They just don't care. Um, it is kind of a treatment center if you're talking about what I'm saying. It's not, it's called, yeah, it is. It's considered like a day treatment center, but it's run like a school, if that makes sense. They have classes, they learn their subjects like they be learning in their schools. So it's run the same way, except there's added disciplinary measures, charting, um, there's like timeout areas and some more stricter timeout areas. We have out of school suspension, in school suspension, that sort of thing. It is kind of, yeah, a continuation school, kind of like that, yeah. Oh wow, Inga, interesting. Yeah, I mean, we live in a world where whether it's the environment, the way we raise our crops, or whatever, children are born with brain damage. Children are born slow. I was a slow student. Um, It happens. And we're in this world with other people that aren't slow. Some of them may look down on the ones that are slow, make fun of them for their disabilities or their challenges, and they don't do well. Some kids react and lash out and beat people up or threaten them or carry weapons. Now, we check them for weapons before they even get in the school doors, so that has not happened since I've been there. Um, Nowadays, that's very common at schools to have that metal detector thing run over their bodies before they even walk through the door. And I'm glad because I would not want to work at a place where they didn't check for that sort of thing. You know, if somebody has an anger issue, they may lash out. At least if they don't have a weapon to do it with, you're safer, obviously. Oh, gotcha, Catherine. Yeah, and there's that too. Kids that have seizures, children that are diabetic, um all sorts of manner of things, but we live in the world with people that have all different things going on. And I've got to wrap this video up pretty quick, this live chat, unfortunately, for all of you. I have to get to the food pantry. I'm going to pick my husband up from work, head to the food pantry, head up to my ex-husband's, take a shower. Both of us are going to take showers because, as you know, I don't have hot water. I have no way to take a decent shower, and I do need to get clean at least once a week. I do basically sponge baths other than that to stay clean. But you need to shower, you need to bathe at least once a week. Get that grunge off of your body from the week. Um yeah, exactly, Inga. I have dealt with some of the students that are like that as well. Yeah, exactly, Natalie. That's exactly right. Continuation high schools. I guess that's kind of what we are. Yes, a continuation school, although not just high school. We are like very young to into the 20s. I don't even know how old the youngest kids are, but they're pretty young and they have trouble. In fact, the younger kids are harder to deal with. I don't deal with them. I'm in the other area of the school. I haven't had hot water for a couple months because my water is so bad with iron, it ate through the pipes of my hot water tank. And a new hot water tank costs $400, which we just don't have right now. We need to pay our bills and stuff, and that's more important. So we just go places and shower when we can, and yeah. Other than that, we just do sponge baths with hot water boiled on the stove. That's how we're doing it right now. Um, you will have to watch some of my older videos, Catherine, if you want to know more about my situation. I'm not going to go all into that again because it's very lengthy. At any rate, need to keep this phone near me in case my husband does call and tell me that he's done and I have to come and get him. I'm gonna put my ringer thing on here because I don't have it on. Okay. That way I'll be able to hear him if he calls me, or I'll see the blinking light alerting me that I have a message. Thank you, Natalie. Yeah, I could do that. The problem is, even if I got a hot water tank, nobody knows how to put it in. So that's another issue. I've tried GoFundMe before for lots of things, and it just never works for me. It's not a successful endeavor on my end. Yeah, yeah, I have a lot of subscribers. I'm very thankful for that. My goal is to get to 7,000, not for any particular reason other than to say, "Woohoo, we got to 7,000 subscribers." It just makes me feel good, like I'm helping people. It just makes me happy. And seven's God's number, so that's why the 7,000 idea. After that, I'll be happy no matter how many subscribers I have or don't have. It's fine. God does what he does, and I'm happy and thankful I get to be a part of this plan that he has on this earth for people. Yeah, that's true. I should get a heating and cooling guy to come in and do it. The problem is, even if I got a hot water heater, my water is so bad. I would not only just need the hot water tank, because I would have already bought one probably by now if that was the case. I literally need a water softener. And in order to do that, we would have to install a box on the outside of the house. And I've had people come out and talk to me about that, and it's an extremely lengthy endeavor, and nobody seems to want to do it. So I can look into it and see. Um, we'll see what happens. Anyway, oh, that's cool, Natalie. I don't know how I would go about doing that, but that'd be awesome. I want to have my cousin come on and do a collab with me about how to basically communicate in marriages that are struggling, not necessarily narcissistic marriages, but marriages where people just don't know how to communicate and get along. And I would like her to do that. Thanks, Catherine. Thank you for your prayers and good vibes. I like it. I receive that. Bring it on. Awesome. So, anyhow, on that note, um, I don't know. I don't know what else I was going to talk about or share with you. I was just telling you about like some of the students that I have. They like to pick at each other and try to start fights. And I saw a brilliant situation the other day. Somebody was starting to what we call escalate, get really angry. They escalate. Their behavior gets to where the body language changes, and you can see they're just like getting really mad, like they want to bop somebody. Thank you, Natalie. I appreciate that. Um, and the person de-escalated them very quickly and took them for a walk, and that was brilliant. I haven't seen that happen in a while because um, sometimes kids just get to the point where they end up in school suspension for a while, or just in the other room in timeout till they can calm down. And some kids don't calm down all day. Some kids don't calm down for days. It just depends on the child. And everything's done with the charting procedure. So we all are on the same page with stuff. I am just super thankful for my co-para, um, who is just absolutely brilliant with IT and computers and brilliant. And me, I'm more of the creative, well, kind of creative. She's super creative too, I must say. She's very creative, but very computer and math minded. And I'm English and reading and spelling, but I have my creative side too with art and my singing and stuff like that. So I'll play around with the kids. If they say something, I'll find a song and kind of sing to them about it. And I'll say, Miss C, what you singing? And it kind of embarrasses them a little bit, especially if you're singing something like they know, not something really bad, because you know me, I don't like that kind of stuff. But I might take a rap song and change the words, and I'll say something like, trying to think of maybe something that I would come up with. I'll name the name, and I'll say, we'll call him Jackie. Jackie gotta do just what I say if Jackie wanna be done and start to play. Something like that. And they'll just look at me like, Miss C, what you singing? They'll get all red or embarrassed. I'll just I told one of the kids yesterday, I said, I'm the hip teacher. I want to be hip. I want to be their friend. And somebody once told me the dumbest thing I've ever heard. You're supposed to be a child's parent and teacher, not their friend. I'm calling the BS on that, the bus stop sign, the stop sign. Um, for me, I believe they respect me more as a teacher because I know how to get to their level and what they understand. I believe that God does the same thing for us. He meets us where we're at. He communicates in a way that we understand and can relate to. So I'm going to do that. And I want to enjoy the children. I want to enjoy my job. And to me, one of the teachers last year that I worked with said, if you love your job, you never work a day in your life. That is so, so true. Sorry, choking this morning. Something caught in my throat. And I enjoy my job. I love going in the morning. In fact, I take an extra lap around the gym because I'm trying to lose some weight. I've been doing really well with my weight loss. Not necessarily losing pounds, but definitely losing some inches and feeling better physically. What I've been doing is I eat meat. I have to eat meat. I tried not eating meat so many times and I get so sick and I get major headaches. I can't eat soy, so I can't substitute tofu for meat. So I have to eat a little bit of meat, so I do. Um, and I have my carbs, but what I've been doing is no matter what the carb is, I let myself eat it. I don't care if it's French fries, mashed potatoes, macaroni, bread, whatever. I just have it, not have like HAVE. Well, yes, that too, but HALVE. Like there was mashed potatoes at work yesterday because we feed the kids lunch, and the paras get the lunch and the teachers eat the lunch too sometimes, or we bring our own, or I do both. If I'm super hungry and my job can make me ravenous, I am on Instagram, yes. I will bring my lunch, which usually consists of some meat, a little bit of a carb, and some vegetables and maybe fruit. Well, I'll get my lunch and then I will, yeah, yeah, I have to have the protein. And then I'll get a school lunch. Well, the school lunch had this like mound of mashed potatoes. It wasn't huge. It was like a scoop, like a ice cream scoop full. I chopped it in half. I ate half of the potatoes and threw out the rest. Now, um, I have to throw it out because that's the rule. If you don't eat something, you have to throw it out because of germs and stuff and bacteria. You can't share it with people most of the time unless it's packaged. Not that the kids don't, sometimes they do, but I didn't want to do that. So I threw it out. And that's how I do things now. I have things. Sometimes I'll tell them when I go through the lunch line, just give me half of that amount. But it's really hard because these lunch lines are super long and you're waiting a long time and kids want to eat. So you don't want to hold up the lunch line having to, dicker with the lunch servers what you want to eat. So that has been working really well. I've been able to eat whatever I want. I just eat less of it automatically by cutting it in half. So that's awesome. I don't remember what I started talking about when I was talking about the lunch thing. Can somebody bring me back to what I was saying? Sorry, I get like off track. Let's see. Yeah, I don't remember what I was saying. Oh my goodness. I was talking about my diet or my eating habits are improving, but there was something I was talking about way before that. And I just kind of veered off onto the bunny trail here or rabbit trail. Yeah, and it doesn't pay a lot. You're right, Natalie. It really doesn't. Yeah, I'm friends with the kids, and I will be. I don't care what anybody says. If they told me, well, you can't be friends with these children, you got to be bossy like us, I'd be like, bye. I'll go find someplace I can be friends with the kids. Because the kids have enough bossy people in their life telling them what to do. They need someone that's going to direct them, yes, and tell them what to do, but do it in a fun way. do it in a way that they can relate to. I was talking about being friends with the kids and relating to the kids. That's true. And yeah, oh, I know what it was. I was saying about how they find me interesting the way I relate to them and I just think I'm goofy. And I'm cool with that. I mean, the things I hear from the kids are usually like, I don't like any of these teachers here, but Miss C, she cool. And Mr. So and so, he cool. They know who they like and they know who they don't like. And interestingly enough, even the guy that disciplines them in the discipline room, like, not that they beat him or anything, they just put him in cubicles and have him do work. Um, they like him too because he's cool. He's one of the kids. And that's what's fascinating working in this field, I guess. The older guys are like big grown boys. They're like your classmates you went to school with, especially when they're like interacting with the kids on a friendly basis. There's one guy, I can't remember his name. I've been watching a few of his videos, and he only has like maybe 5 videos out there. And it's called like Meet Mr. Hinckley or Meet Mr. Nelson or something. He must be teaching in like I don't know, an alternative school or maybe an inner city school. And he's just like really fun with the kids. He climbs up on the seats, he claps, he snaps. He's brilliant. And I would love to, institute some of that stuff into doing what I do with the kids. I'm limited because I'm just a para. I'm not a teacher. So I'm limited in what I can do. And I would not want the teacher's job. Those teachers work beyond anything I would want to work. I mean, their caseloads and their paperwork is way beyond mine. I do have a lot of paperwork, but nothing compared to theirs. So, yeah, kudos to them, hats off to them, and good for them. Don't want to be that. I don't want to be a teacher. I want to be a counselor. That's really where my heart is. And I can still work with the kids as a counselor, maybe other kids in a different atmosphere, but yeah. So $22? Oh, heck no. No, no. Minimum wage here, isn't it like 9.50 or 8.50 an hour? 22. Well, the cost of living is very, very high in California. That's probably why people gotta survive and buy houses out there. Yeah, that's incredible. $22 for minimum wage. Maybe I should move to California. Nah, I'm not gonna do that. That's not where God has me. He planted me, where I'm supposed to be. Anyway, my husband just messaged me and said that he is going to eat quick and then he will want me to go there. So I'm going to have to probably get going here, meet with him, get to the food pantry, get back here, gather up our clothes, and head to my ex husband's for a shower. And then back here to clean my house because it seriously needs some help here. Um, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I was going to talk about before I leave. Still waiting on the Shanann or not Shanann, but the Watts trial situation like everybody is. And that was my phone again. I'll see you when you get here. Love you. Okay, so I need to head out. Um, I don't know anything new. If you hear anything new, please bring it my way. Post it in the chat when I have chat, or just post it in the comments. That's fine too. I have really enjoyed this morning. It has been awesome hanging out with all of you. It always is. It's a blessing. It's a humbling experience that people come to hear anything I have to say. It's pretty cool. God is good. And you all are super great. Thanks, Inga, for coming in, and Catherine, and Lindsay, and Natalie, and all of you. If I don't mention your name, I appreciate you. Love you all. And I will see you soon. Thanks for stopping in, and see you next time. Bye.